I would love to see another one of the giant's unique puzzles. It would also be nice if the giant gave them some kind of reward after. Hmm. Welcome to episode 32 in this chess puzzle adventure series starring Bobby Fischerman, Average Joe, and Peter Potzer. Previously, Peter Potzer and Average Joe successfully solved the sunglasses chess puzzle and were prepared to leave the giant's playground. However, right as they were about to leave, the giant said, "Oh, by the way, if you'd like to solve one more puzzle, I'll give you a special reward if you can complete it." Peter Potzer and Average Joe were intrigued by the special reward and said, "Okay, sure, we'll give your puzzle a shot. What is it?" Said, "Here's the position where white needs to deliver checkmate. However, this is not an ordinary checkmate. This is what's known as a helpmate." Now, for those of you who don't know what a helpmate is, it differs from a regular puzzle in one key difference. And the key difference is that in a helpmate, both players are trying to work towards getting black checkmated. See, normally when you try to checkmate, your opponent is playing the best moves, trying to avoid the checkmate. Sometimes you can still force it, but they're not going to make it easy on you. In a helpmate, both white and black are working to achieve the same goal of checkmate. Okay, so you have to think outside of the box to solve these. So before we actually tackle this problem, which is what the giant was presenting to Peter Potzer and Average Joe, I want to show you guys this position as kind of a warm-up exercise. Okay, so this is also a helpmate. This is a helpmate in one. And there's one more thing that you need to understand about helpmates. Black moves first, but white delivers the checkmate. So essentially what that means in this position is that black will make the first move, and then white will immediately play checkmate the next move. So if you would like to pause with that understanding, black to play, how does white get the checkmate after black plays the first move? Well, if you had a chance to look at that, the move here for black is rook to f8. And essentially what black is doing is trapping their king here so that the rook can come over and deliver the checkmate. Notice that the knight is taking away these squares, and because black put the rook there trapping the king, it can't escape there as well. So it's checkmate. And of course, this is not the best move for black. It's the worst move, right? The best move for black would be to take this, and black would go on to win the game. But in a helpmate, like I said, that's not how it works. Both players are trying to get the checkmate, and so black has to do their part by playing rook f8, and then the rook comes over for the checkmate. Okay, so hopefully with that example, you understand now how helpmates work, and now you can try to tackle this position from the giant yourself. So it's black to play first, and white will deliver checkmate on the third move that white plays. So black moves, and then white moves. That's the first move for white. And on the third move, white will deliver the checkmate. Go ahead and pause, think through this one. It is a little bit tricky if you're not familiar with helpmates, but go ahead and do your best, and then we'll talk about the solution. All right, well, if you had a chance to look at that, hopefully you came up with the solution, and if not, I'm going to show you right now. So with a helpmate, of course, the king needs to do its part to help. Now, in the center of the board, it's going to be much more difficult to checkmate black. So black needs to kind of come to the edge of the board. And one way to do that in 3 moves would be 1, 2, 3. The problem is this is kind of far away from white's king, and that white's not going to have enough pieces. So another way would be 1, 2, 3. Black also gets to the edge of the board, but now it's close to white's king, which means white's king is actually supporting some of these squares, which makes it more likely that you'll be able to get checkmate. So if you think about that, if black's king is sitting here, these squares are already controlled. You really just have these other 3 squares and wherever the king is to control, okay, with your knights. So how could you do that? Well, here's how you do it. King to c5. The knight goes to a4 check. And the reason you're going here is not really so much for the check. It's because you want to reposition this knight in a certain square. King to b6. And then knight to c5. Here's the second move for white. And notice how you're controlling 2 out of those 4 squares that we talked about. And then after the king goes to a3, this knight can follow up. And there you go. You have the checkmate. You've got this knight controlling these 2, this knight controlling these 2, and the king controlling these. And what you're left with is a pretty cool checkmate with the knights. Okay, so that's the solution. Of course, better move for black would have been to run the other way, right? And this would have never happened. But like I said, in helpmates, that's not how it works. Both players are on the same team, and that is the solution. Congratulations if you found that. Well, upon successfully solving the puzzle, The giant presented to Peter Potts and Average Joe a red pill. Peter and Joe looked at each other and said, what does the red pill do? The giant said, this is a special red pill, and when you take it, it will reset your chess rating to whatever you were originally. Peter Potts said, get that pill away from me. I don't want to go back to 700 rating. I'm happy at my 3,500. Average Joe thought that doesn't really sound like it's going to be much use to us because I'm already 1,400. That's what I was before. Let's just go. And they were about to leave when he had a second thought. He said, you know what? We did all this work to solve the puzzle. I guess we should at least take the pill. And he grabbed the red pill. He put it in his pocket. And that's where we'll pick up our story next time. Thank you guys for watching, and happy adventures on the chessboard.